Royal biographer Robert Lacey claimed that the Prince of Wales wanted his firstborn son, who was born on June 21, 1982, to be named after the legendary King Arthur. But Mr Lacey added that Diana proposed that he be called William after William the Conqueror, who won the Battle of Hastings in 1066. In the end, William was given Arthur as one of his middle names. His other middle names are Philip, after his grandfather the Duke of Edinburgh, and Louis, which William has passed on to his third child Prince Louis. When he takes to the throne, he will be known as King William IV. According to Mr Lacey, Diana believed William would live up to his name and said he was a born leader from a young age. Writing in People magazine, he said, "He's obviously going to be a great king," Diana would declare to her confidante Simone Simmons as she watched her son organise pick-up games of soccer in Kensington Palace's gardens or subversive midnight feasts on sleepovers with friends. "Look how they're drawn to him. He's a born leader." Mr Lacey, author of Battle of Brothers, also claimed William is stepping up after a turbulent few years for the royals. The Queen's beloved husband Prince Philip died in April. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle quit as working royals and moved to California last year in a move dubbed Megxit. And Prince Andrew has stepped back from public duties over the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Mr Lacey said, following the April death of Grandpa, Prince Philip, William has stepped up to become one of the top 3 family figures, adding the ginger of youth to royal strategy. "It's a crucial inflection point. This heir in waiting is under pressure like none before in recent history." Duke and Duchess of Sussex were guests at the One World Trade Center, built on the site of the Twin Towers destroyed in the September 11 attacks. They posed for pictures at the observatory at the top of the skyscraper and later paid their respects with a visit to the 9/11 memorial on the ground floor. Harry, 37, and Meghan, 40, were dressed somberly for the occasion, which came 2 weeks after the 20th anniversary of the atrocity. Meghan, with her hair in a bun, wore a navy high-necked coat, turtleneck jumper and trousers, while Harry wore a black single-breasted suit and dark tie. It was their first public appearance since the birth of their daughter Lilibet in June and their first major visit since they quit their senior royal roles in March last year. Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York State, and New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio hosted the couple, showing them around. Harry and Meghan looked stiff and nervous at times as they posed for the cameras and photographers barked out requests for them to change their position. But, asked by a reporter if she was enjoying her trip to New York, Meghan smiled and replied, "It's wonderful to be back, thank you." They were joined by Mr de Blasio's family, his wife, the writer and activist Chirlane McRae, and son Dante de Blasio. The Sussexes, who have been living in California since the start of the pandemic, are in New York to take part in a worldwide event on Saturday urging leaders to adopt a vaccine equity policy to help end the pandemic. They are joining the 24-hour broadcast Global Citizen Live being staged in New York's Central Park and around the world. Future King, who has completed more than 7 years of full-time military service, is likely to be heartbroken by his inability to comment on the devastation caused in the Middle East. In 2010, William commented on his intention to serve in Afghanistan like his brother Harry, saying he had a real determination to go out there, but security issues were raised to prevent this, especially after Harry was extracted over safety concerns in 2008. As a future king and senior royal, the Duke of Cambridge has to remain politically neutral, and therefore cannot comment on the current climate in Afghanistan. The future monarch is unable to comment on the current circumstances where jihadist extremists have seized control, forcing Afghans, civilians and military personnel to be evacuated. While British law doesn't demand it, royal tradition, as followed by the Queen, extends her political neutrality to her entire family. During Queen Elizabeth II's reign, maintaining her political neutrality has been one of her sole focuses, and is something that her son Prince Charles, and her grandson Prince William have upheld too. It is believed they follow the practice of the Nolan Principles, which asserts that future leaders must be selfless, objective, accountable and open among other qualities. The Nolan Principles, established by John Major, a previous UK Prime Minister, refers to qualities that those in public office, including the royal family, are supposed to follow. One of the 7 principles of public life refers to the quality of objectivity, whereby any decisions conducted by those in public office should be made impartially, fairly and on merit, using the best evidence and without discrimination or bias. Senior royal status often means individuals are restricted in their freedom of speech, freedom of religion, right to privacy, and freedom of travel, while there are expectations and conventions that must be followed. It comes as William TM's brother, Prince Harry, and his wife Meghan Markle released a statement commenting on the Afghanistan crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic and the humanitarian disaster in Haiti. After stepping back as senior members of the royal family, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are not subjected to the same protocol, and can freely speak about these subjects. Prince Harry served in the army for 10 years, undertook 2 tours of Afghanistan, and continues to support servicemen and veterans through his Invictus Games Foundation. In the statement, Meghan and Harry said the Taliban's advance in Afghanistan has left them speechless and heartbroken. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams advised on the situation, stating, "The crisis in Afghanistan is one of the most serious the Western Alliance has faced. The monarchy is above party politics. Any comment a working member of the royal family made would be at the instigation of the government." He says, in contrast, Harry and Meghan have no such constraints. Harry, who has served twice in Afghanistan, has spoken about the ties that bind the international Invictus community, many of whom have served in Afghanistan, and appealed for veterans to offer support to each other at this difficult time. Their charity Archewell put out a statement offering support to the military community in Afghanistan, and to the Afghan people who are suffering so much. This is clearly constructive. It is also important to bear in mind that their intervention will receive the attention it gets because they are members of the royal family. Owing to their unusual situation, they are able to speak out. In 2020, the Duchess of Sussex encouraged US citizens to vote in the presidential election, but in a televised special revealing the Time 100 list which the pair attended as alumni, Harry commented that in this election, I am not able to vote in the US. He said, "But many of you may not have known that I've never been able to vote in the UK my entire life." After commenting on political affairs, The Telegraph stated the prince was risking a diplomatic row by stepping in. However, in a statement issued to Roya Nicker, royal editor of the Sunday Times, Buckingham Palace was not concerned by political ramifications of Harry TM's comments as he is not a working member of the royal family. It reflected that any comments he makes are made in a personal capacity, so would not defy the protocol followed by serving members of the royal family. Prince Albert II, 63, has raised hopes his family will be reunited in Monaco sooner than expected. The Monégasque sovereign opened up on the recovery from an ENT infection of Princess Charlene, 43, and the surgeries she has undertaken. He told People magazine, "She's ready to come home." The return date, he noted, will very much depend on what her doctors say. However, Princess Charlene's health has been improving following her last surgery in August, which cautiously leads to thinking the royal may be able to get on a plane within weeks. Prince Albert said, "I know she said possibly late October, but that was before this most recent round of appointments. I'm pretty sure we can cut that time frame a little short." South Africa-born Princess Charlene said at the end of July, prior to her last operation, she anticipated it would take her months of healing before being able to get on a plane. Speaking to South Africa Radio 702's host Mandy Wiener, the princess said to be in a waiting game involving her health and her return to Monaco. She said, "I cannot force healing, so I will be grounded in South Africa until the end of October." Prince Albert indicated Charlene is in high spirits and joked with him about returning to Monaco at all costs. He said in his recent interview, "She's ready. She's jokingly said that she's ready to stow away on a ship to come back to Europe." Prince Albert, who travelled to South Africa last month with his twin children Jacques and Gabriella, 6, to visit Charlene, also said the princess was delighted to see us and spend time with the kids. Princess Charlene couldn't hide her happiness on August 25 when she shared pictures of her family once again together. The royal published several snaps on her Instagram account in which she was seen cuddling her children, while Prince Albert smiles behind them. Other portraits showed her twins perched on a branch they climbed and allowed royal fans to take a proper look at Gabriella's creative haircut she gave herself. The portraits were accompanied by a caption by Princess Charlene, reading, "I am so thrilled to have my family back with me." Gabriella decided to give herself a haircut. "Sorry my Bella, I tried my best to fix it." On the following day, Princess Charlene shared 2 more pictures, this time showing herself hugging and leaning on the Monégasque sovereign. This was Albert's second trip to South Africa with the children since Charlene's ordeal with her ENT infection started. Charlene, who married Prince Albert on July 1, 2011, traveled to her homeland in May to carry out conservation work, focused in particular on rhinos. While she expected to remain for a couple of weeks, she was grounded there due to an infection she developed after a sinus lift and bone graft held in preparation for dental implants, which made it impossible for her to fly. The royal has since undergone 3 surgeries and Albert provided a heartwarming update following the one taking place on August 13. He said in a statement, "The operation went well, Princess Charlene is resting and we are thinking of her with tenderness."